Welcome back to Inside Tulsa Athletics, a brand new year. I'm your host, Rick Couri. Today, we're going to talk football with folks from all over the district, a brand new facility at Hale. We'll throw some volleyball and some cheer in here. That's all coming up today. So stay with us and learn a whole lot more about TPS right here at Inside Tulsa Athletics. Welcome back to Inside Tulsa Athletics. I'm your host, Rick Couri, and now one of my favorite segments. Why? Because they're Hale guys. I'm a Hale guy, and I get to talk to Hale guys. Jesse Jones is with us. He's the head coach. Jesse and I have been in a lot of locker rooms together because he played over at the University of Tulsa. And Clayton, who's a kicker, is with us as well. Guys, thanks for being here. Jesse, tell me about this experience as being a head coach in the high school level. How are you feeling?
I feel great. It's what I expected. I'm used to working hard. It's a lot of hard work, but the rewards is worth it. Just trying to change the mentality, change the culture, get a lot more structure, a lot more work. It's we in the early stages, but we progressing at a good rate.
And 2-0.
Yes, sir. A win is a win. They were two ugly wins, but I'll take any win how I can get them.
There is no such thing as an ugly win, man. If you win, it's a win. That's all there is to it. And it's great to see a team off to 2-0 like that. And then you're a guy who comes in here with, you played at a high level and you've been with some really good athletes. How do you kind of get that across to your kids? There's an expectation. You got to always excel.
You just got to keep relaying the message over and over. The good thing is I got in February, so my core guys, I feel like we got great buy-in. We did well in team camp. We did well in 7-on-7, but our numbers was low. And so now we getting the numbers up, but we have to retrain the new guys into the buy-in process. So we went from less than 20 when I arrived. We over 60 now. We had like 62, which I'm excited about because I believe I can develop anybody, but I need a body to develop. You know what I mean? And all kids are the same. It's just when I graduated from McLain and went to TU, it was a bunch of guys at McLain that could have played there, but they didn't know how to eat, they didn't know how to train, they just didn't understand the dedication. That's why I got into coaching. I knew I could make a difference. So we have talent. I was just at Union. From a talent perspective, we could compete, but just mentally and technically, we just got a lot of work to do. And we got a lot of sophomores, so we gotta throw them in the fire and figure it out on the fly.
That is what Nick Saban calls the process, right? Learn the process and stick with the process. Clayton is a kicker. All right, he talked about coming in kind of as a new guy. How do you feel getting new guys in?
I love them. They bring hype to us. Like when we have a new guy show up, he should be working. He should be hardworking, and every time there's a new guy show up, we're excited to see somebody else show up and be there for us.
How did you adjust to a new coach?
For me, especially as a kicker, it's different than like a QB because I'm not seeing them as much as the field as like a QB or running back. So I'm getting as much as I can from Coach Jones, but he also has the offense that he has to worry about. So him coming in, he's changed a lot. From last year, I was the kicker and punter last year, and this year I am too. But it's a complete turnaround 100% for sure.
How would you describe, what's the biggest difference? Is it attitude? Is it work? What is it?
Our attitude for sure. Our hopes are high this year. We're in a good mentality. We have a winning mentality this year. We're focused in school. We got to be a student athlete. We got to be there for school, and then we all translate that to the field.
And that's one of the hardest things, isn't it, Jesse? It's learning to win, which again goes back to the process. It's not just, hey guys, we're going to go out on Friday and hope it goes well. You have to put in that work. Is that one of the harder things when you first take over a program?
That's the hardest thing at any program, but especially a program that's not used to winning. It's just so many more hours required that the guys aren't used to. But you know, that's our job. If it wasn't hard, they wouldn't need me. But it's I enjoy the journey. I just have confidence. I believe that everything I touch gonna work, and this won't be no different. It won't happen overnight, but I know what I signed up for, and we gonna get it done by choice or by force. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So that's just my mentality. But we got a great group of kids. I'm super blessed, and every day we just trying to get a little bit better. Every week we just want to go 1-0. I'm not worried about nothing but the next game, and just trying to instill to our guys that how you do one thing is how you do everything. We got to be a champion at home, at church, in the classroom, at practice, and on game day. Game day is a celebration of all our hard work.
Right.
It's not a switch you flip and you turn into some monster on game day. All you have to do is what you prepare to do, and when it get hard, just lean on your preparation, lean on your training. If we prepare right, we'll be fine on Fridays. And if we don't, you're going to see the result of our lack of preparation.
Yep, and probably hear about it next week.
Absolutely.
You know, how do you as a kicker be a leader? It's not a normal leadership position.
So I know, for me personally, I try to strive to have everybody be the best. I'm a kicker, so I don't do much as a wide receiver. Like I could play multiple positions, I just don't want to. I'm a kicker. I'm kicking through and through. I want to go to college for that. And so I want to see everybody be lifted to their highest that they can, to the highest ability that they can play.
And if you do that, everybody's successful.
Yeah.
And he was captain last week, and he's 10 for 10 extra points, and he kicked 2 field goals, 100%. He got a 41-yarder.
Yeah.
So he's doing a great job.
Thank you.
Kadden Clayton kicking from my alma mater, and that's Jesse Jones, the head coach from Nathan Hale. Back again in a moment with more Tulsa Inside Tulsa Athletics.
Hey Tulsans, the City of Tulsa would like to remind you to recycle right. When it comes to items that you can put in your blue recycling card, remember these 4 categories: aluminum and steel cans, cardboard and paper, plastic bottles and jugs, and glass bottles and jars. Please remember that plastic bags, styrofoam, and batteries do not belong in your blue card. Please do your part, and don't forget to think before you throw.
I always wanted to be a teacher in a school, and preferably high school, and here I am living out my dream.
I was going to be able to make a difference. The district is so equitable and lovable to our students.
I chose Tulsa Public Schools because I am Tulsa Public Schools.
I have a lot of students from different cultures that speak different languages, have different traditions.
Tulsa needs teachers like you.
Make a difference in Tulsa.
Apply today at tulsaschools.org/teach
TPS.
Hey, let's talk some more football here on Inside Tulsa Athletics. I'm your host, Rick Couri, and I am excited to have with me some folks from Booker T. Man, I played a lot of games against these guys. I won't show them the Hale logo I'm hiding in my lap. I'll just leave that right there. We're talking to Nate Goodman, who's the head coach. Nate, thank you very much. And Boone Spring, one of the linebackers. Thanks for being here. All right, first year as a head coach at Booker T. How's it going?
It's going pretty good. Just trying to get the guys to buy in. They're buying in pretty good. We 1-1. We took a tough one on the chin last weekend against Dale City. Mm-hmm. We beat Muskogee first game. So, you know, these good opponents non-district will help us later on down the line.
Yeah, Dale City team's really, really good.
Yes, sir.
When you're taking over, and it wasn't the easiest of situations to take over necessarily, but when you're taking over, what is your approach to coming in and starting?
For me, it was all about relationships. I knew coming in, some of these seniors like Boone, I'm the third head coach that they've seen since they've been in high school. So for me, it was let the guys see that I'm still a regular guy, but I want them to have the same goals and missions that I have, and everything aligns. And that's a state championship. That's the standard at Booker T. So it wasn't hard. I think the hardest part for me was coming in late, and then trying to, you know, with this new transfer portal we call in the sports world, just making sure my kids would stay on and what we would have. And they all assured me they weren't going anywhere, and it's a good thing to have. When I got 17 seniors and we don't lose any, that's a good sign. So
that's a really good sign. And when you come in late like that too, I mean, you've got a lot of things you're trying to do. Do you stick with a lot of the old processes early and change things a little at a time, or do you decide, no, I'm just going to cut the cord and here's what we're going to do?
Some of the stuff you have to cut the cord on. If it doesn't work, you kind of, it's no point in
punt.
get rid of that one. Let's have a change of process. But One of the best things that I did was I kept majority of the original staff that those guys had saw. So I wanted to provide some continuity for the players, just to make sure that they knew a familiar face versus me coming in and cutting cords with everybody and bringing new guys in. So, like I said, you want to do it your way. And we have a motto at Booker T, the standard is the standard. So we just kept everything the Hornet way. I'm not doing anything that wasn't, instilled in me when I played football there. So I just want those guys to carry on the tradition and be proud about the body of work that they put on the field.
Boone, so what was it like having a new guy walk in?
We're just gonna fight through it. We've been through 3, but we've never had our head down. We're just gonna keep looking through it. And he's a really good head coach. We all like him. We make some jokes. But we know when it's time to get serious.
And that's what's important. And I mean, he's big enough, and when it's time to get serious, he'll let you know.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
What would you describe as the biggest difference, maybe philosophy-wise, or kind of the atmosphere with Coach?
Definitely the mentality. Every time we get on the field and during practice, we always try to give 110%. If we're not, maybe if we're giving 80 or 90, he'll always be there to make sure we're going 110.
And style-wise, it hasn't changed a whole lot, has it?
No, it's all, just bleed orange and black. That's what we bleed. So.
And exactly from my days back in high school, that's what I remember is those Booker T teams loved being Booker T teams.
Absolutely.
How do you install that?
Man, it's rarely easy. I walked into a pep rally last week, and just to see the kids do some of the same stuff that we did 20 plus years ago is exciting to see that tradition is passed on. And I got a couple of teammates they want to bring back. We used to do what you call like cheers and chants before the game, and I'm like, guys, I'm gonna let these kids do whatever gets them motivated to go out here and play this game. Now, I might try to install some of it, but that's 20 plus years ago, and we did it from somebody who was probably 20 plus years ago, and it just sometimes old traditions, you try to mix them with the young and the old. I'm reminded of somebody who used to always tell me, you can't have an 8-track ministry in an iPad generation. So just making sure these kids they're able to express their own way, because this is the legacy that they'll leave for the next group of Hornets to come through. So I don't want to step on the processes and the traditions that they're building as well. So.
Yeah, I'm gonna steal that though, because I really like that one. At the same time, you do want them to understand the level that has been there, and I know that's something again at Booker T that people have been really good about. They've understood that the people who have played there, and even all the way back to the Winesberrys and Reuben Gantz and the Mickey Collins and Paul Parkers and some of those guys who played there. Do you push that? Do they know about it? Do you even approach it?
Well, you name somebody, and the good thing for Boone and a couple of these seniors, Mickey Collins is one of their coaches. So they get it from every angle, man. Lamar Burks put together a museum, and they get to walk through that, and they can see and visualize some of the greats. I've done a lot of interviews, and the one thing that I always tell them is I want these kids to understand that they're walking on the holy grail of football fields. You brought up a story about Winesberry. I remember a guy, Spencer Tillman, Edison grad, started off at Booker T. But Winesberry and a couple other guys were in front of him, and he just couldn't get in. So he transferred to Edison, had a blow-up career. We all know him now, but, I tried to install in Boone. He had a major injury last year, but we've had some injuries this year, and I always tell my guys it's always the next man up at Booker T. So that's the key.
What's your personal goal this year?
Honestly, just be feared. I want to be the #1 linebacker in the state, and that's been my goal since my freshman year. And I really want to go out there and give them my all.
Well, good luck doing it, Boone Spring. Thanks very much. And Nate Goodman, good luck this year.
Thank you.
All right, that's it for this segment. Back with more Inside Tulsa Athletics coming up.
Which one of these items can be recycled in the City of Tulsa's blue recycling cart? Battery, steel can, thermos. The correct answer is steel can. Aluminum and steel cans are great for the City of Tulsa's blue recycling cart. To dispose of e-waste like batteries, contact the City of Tulsa. Learn more at tulsarecycles.com.
Whether your child is moving from elementary to middle school or from middle school to high school, Tulsa Public Schools is here to help support your family every step of the way. From STEM and fine arts to career tech and athletics, TPS offers diverse programs to inspire and challenge your student. And with our advanced placement, dual credit, and career training programs, they can even get a head start on their career. Help your student find their future at TPS. Enroll today.
Back again on Inside Tulsa Athletics, I'm your coach, or in this case, host, Rick Couri. And we're going to welcome someone who's been here many times, Emily Stone, Assistant AD. Welcome back. How was your summer?
Summer was good. It was pretty busy, but you know what? I would rather be busy than just sitting around and not doing anything.
What does an Assistant AD do during the summer?
You know, it's a lot of planning for the year ahead, making schedules for our sports teams, and, you know, a lot goes into that. A lot more than I think I realized when I took this job, because I came from ORU. I was just a marketing person, right?
Just a marketing person?
Just marketing.
How many, you said scheduling. Anytime you say scheduling, coaches go, whoa. So tell me, are you doing it for a lot of sports, certain sports? How does that work?
Yeah, so we start with our fall sports. And fortunately for me, I only have softball. And so we have what's called the Turnpike 44 League that we do with our OKC public school friends. We're all in a league together just to give our student athletes a better opportunity at winning some more games, right? And so that's really all I had to do this summer was work on that schedule. But when we are all doing schedules in the office, it's just our fall sports to start with in the summer, and then we'll move on to our spring and winter.
You say all, you got venues, times, people, officials, umpire, concessions.
Yeah.
That's a lot of stuff.
It's a lot of stuff, and it keeps us busy. But you know what? Like I said, I'd rather be busy than not, right?
I understand that. All right, several things we want to get into right now, and one of those is the Student Athlete Advisory Council. Sounds like a pretty simple thing. Is it as simple as the title? Does it do exactly what it says?
It does exactly what it says. It's a chance for our student athletes, specifically 2 athletes from each of our high schools. It's a male and female. It's a junior, senior. It's an opportunity for them to help us bridge the gap between administration, coaches, and our student athletes. To give them a voice and help them lead beyond the game. That's what we want at the end of the day. We want them to leave their school after graduation and go be better than what they were leaving, right? And so this is a chance for them to grow their leadership skills, hear from other professionals in the sports industry, and just learn new things about leadership and how they can grow and take that growth back to their teams and back to their school.
You say you're talking about communication. Are we talking about very simple things like, dealing with individuals? Are we talking about coach to coach, how it weaves in with school? Kind of what are we talking about?
It's more so, things that they may be seeing that we don't see. Whether it's an issue that's going on at the school that we want to talk about and figure out a way to fix it. And how can we fix that with our communication skills? So that's really what I mean by that. Like I said, it's a voice. They're a voice. They're our voice. And it's going to help us bridge that gap between our office and these schools.
How often do they come to you with things like, okay, we don't like this in the way we're doing this one thing. We'd like to change this one thing. How much do you guys hear that? And when you do, how much consideration is given?
For sure. We actually just started. September 2nd was our first meeting. So they haven't really had the opportunity to do so yet. And we took a break last year. So this is the first full year we're getting back into the swing of things and getting this advisory committee back and going. So I don't know the answer to that yet. I hope they bring it to me more times than not because, again, I'm here for them and our office is there for them. We want them to feel comfortable to bring these issues to us.
What did you hear at that first meeting?
Well, we only had a couple show up, which, again, a lot of these student athletes are in season right now. And so we only had a couple show up, but it was really just an introduction meeting. Let's get to know each other. What sports do you play? Who are you? Kind of conversations.
Gotcha. As we move along, obviously the sports will change, which means the needs will probably change because the numbers change. A lot of people in football, not as many people in volleyball. Not everybody has everything. So you expect this, I would think, to kind of always be a living thing, don't you?
I would agree with that. Again, I'm going to do my best to work around their schedules at the end of the day because they are athletes. And I understand that. And we understand that in our office. And so like you said, everything's ever changing, right? Things are moving, their schedules are changing. And so we're going to do our best to work with those schedules and get them involved as much as possible.
But it does sound like a really good thing as long as it can get working and get rolling, right?
Absolutely. It's going to be an opportunity for them to get out into the community as well. We want to do some service projects and let the community get to know these student athletes and the schools that they come from and what they're representing. So
Yeah,
it's going to be a great opportunity for them.
Yeah, it does make sense that you're in a neighborhood, you're in an area. If you can give back there, I mean, that's a really good thing. Something else is GoFan. Explain what that is.
Yeah, so GoFan is our new ticketing platform that we're going to be piloting this year. It's an app that every school has access to. They put their events in. Adult tickets are $7 and student and senior tickets, which would maybe be for you. No, I'm just kidding. But those are $5. But we're trying to start the digital ticketing process and get that in front of our fans, because at the end of the day, we're gonna do our best to go all digital next year. But we still have the cash option this year to allow our fans to ease into that new digital way of ticketing now. It's become a huge thing within the sports industry. You'll see it in college, you see it at professional events, and so I know a lot of high schools are starting to go that way. And so this is our opportunity to start easing into that for our fans and our community.
First of all, yeah, I'd get the senior ticket. I admit to that. I resemble that. There's no doubt. Secondly, is the goal to eventually go cashless?
Absolutely. That is our ultimate goal. I think we want to start that next year, and that's why we're piloting it this year, to allow our fans to learn, hey, you can go into the App Store or the Google Store and download that app and get used to it now. Emily
Stone's the assistant AD. Thank you very much. We appreciate you being here.
Thank you. Thanks for having me.
Back with more Inside Tulsa Athletics coming up.
I always wanted to be a teacher in a school, and preferably high school, and here I am living out my dream.
I was going to be able to make a difference. The district is so equitable and lovable to our students.
I chose Tulsa Public Schools because I am Tulsa Public Schools.
I have a lot of students from different cultures that speak different languages, have different traditions.
Tulsa needs teachers like you.
Make a difference in Tulsa.
Apply today at
tulsaschools.org/teach TPS.
Which one of these items can be recycled in the city of Tulsa's blue recycling cart? Glass bottle, string lights, ceramic mug. The correct answer is glass bottle. Glass bottles and jars are perfect for the city of Tulsa's blue recycling cart. But string lights and ceramic mugs should be donated or thrown away in the gray trash cart. Learn more at tulsarecycles.com.
Welcome back to Inside Tulsa Athletics. I'm your host, Rick Couri. Now we're going to switch and talk a little McLain sports. Jamar Louie is with us. He's the athletic director. And as you can tell, Jamar can still go out and play a little bit. You spend a little time in the gym, don't you?
Yeah, I do. Just trying to keep up with our kids pretty much.
All right, so I was going to ask, because kids love to, even if you're not that much older, they love it that you're older. They'll give you a little ribbing. What do you hear from the kids when you're in there with them?
Usually I'm at the uncle stage of my life. So if I try to get up and down with the boys or some of the football players, they call me Unc. So I don't know how much I like it or enjoy it, but whatever is to make our sports better and to get them interacting with each other and one another.
And with you. I mean, it's sometimes it's hard to get young people to interact with the older people, whether it's, a coach is different because you're with them all the time. You've got to get them comfortable with you. And if you don't, well, it's harder to make changes, understand what's going through their minds. So that's a good thing, right?
Yeah, definitely. And I think making sure that we're visible at the feeder pattern, at Monroe and just feeding those kids and letting them know that McLain is the place where we want them to be and that we're going to pour into them and try to create the culture that'll get them post-secondary ready.
So tell me what you guys have been doing to get the year started.
So this year, actually, of course, we started softball, which we haven't had in about 30 years. Mm-hmm. So Coach Orange, my assistant athletic director, was nice enough to get that going for us. And Pamela Johnson is taking over for her as the softball coach. We got volleyball going. Flag football was introduced last year, so we're getting that jump back started so they can start doing their tryouts. So everything is pointing in the right direction for our athletic program.
And busy.
Yes, sir.
McLain has such a history. And many times I'll talk to people about coaches about, does history matter? Because a lot of times you're getting kids into schools at the college or the high school level. They don't remember that. Most of them weren't born when some of that happened. Do you press it? Do you talk about it? How does you access it?
Well, so we access it by allowing our alumni to come back and speak. So like Prentice Elliott was back this year to speak to the student advisory committee, the student athletic advisory committee. Josh Jacobs was back this summer, who's the all-pro running back for Green Bay, just working out with our student athletes and showing them, you know, the work ethic that it takes to reach a level or reach those type of heights in athletics.
And those are the kind of things that really light fires, aren't they?
Yes, definitely. Of course, we have an alumni returning as our head basketball coach, Ebi Ara. So things are just trending in the right direction, I would say.
What are numbers like?
All of our teams are full. Our rosters are full. Of course, with so many girls programs being around the same time with the girls volleyball, softball, flag football, there's kind of trying to find a good balance of girls on each team. But as long as we keep those interests going, I think the numbers will keep rising like we expect.
You know, you mentioned flag football starting, and you know, from what I'm hearing around, it had great success that first year, and even people who didn't get involved saw it, got excited, and want to get involved. Is that growing, do you think?
Yes, it's definitely growing. Young ladies that never even participated in athletics in junior high school are, you know, coming and inquiring about being on the flag football team. Students that formerly may have had, you know, issues with their discipline or attendance, we're creating a avenue for them to, you know, reconcile some of those things that they did in the past to be the best person that they can now.
And you know, the cool thing about it is once you see that light go on, it kind of changes a little bit of everything for them, doesn't it?
Yes, definitely. Like I said, you see those behavior changes in those students, you know, them advocating for themselves more, them advocating for their teammates, and just see them becoming, you know, growing into young adults.
You know, why do you think flag football took off like it did?
I think Donald Driver being the point person from the NFL, I think that was a great driving factor to contribute to just the almost like a big bang because East Central had a good team last year. Webster was very competitive last year. And I just think overall, flag football is just creating an avenue for our girls to access going to college.
Yes, sure.
You know, because we're getting inquiries from like Bethel College and different colleges offering scholarships in flag football.
Any opportunity to continue in education is good. Is there an early goal for you personally here at McLain for this year, what you really want to see happen?
I think the main objective for me, I want to see all of our seniors get their FAFSA done and make sure that we're on track to graduate and we're on track to be post-secondary ready, whether that's pursuing a college degree or pursuing a trade. And I just think we're trending, like I said, we're trending in the right direction. Our football team is 1-1 right now. You know, we're coming off a loss, but we expect to win this week. Of course, Webster plans to do something different, you know, have us saying that, but we're looking to have a competitive game. But I just think our athletic program as a whole is improving.
And that's what matters. Jamar, Louie, AD over at McLain, thanks very much, and stay that uncle stage for a while, all right?
Okay, I will.
Back with more Inside Tulsa Athletics coming up.
Hey, Tulsa, we have a crushing recycle play of the day for you. Team Johnson versus paper and cardboard.
They're starting off slow today, probably trying to figure out what to do with those styrofoam plates, since they're not recyclable.
There's the big play we were waiting for. Boom! Completely empty cardboard boxes dunked in the cart. Score big by recycling your cardboard and paper. Learn more at TulsaRecycles.com.
Whether your child is moving from elementary to middle school or from middle school to high school, Tulsa Public Schools is here to help support your family every step of the way. From STEM and fine arts to career tech and athletics, TPS offers diverse programs to inspire and challenge your student. And with our advanced placement, dual credit, and career training programs, they can even get a head start on their career. Help your student find their future at TPS. Enroll today.
You found Inside Tulsa Athletics once again. Welcome back. I'm your host, Rick Couri. We're now going to talk a little cross country. Barbara Pinkerton is with us, the Edison cross country coach. Loving the shirt and the logo.
Thank you. Thank you.
I understand you had a student that was making those for you.
We did. One of our cross country kids, kind of artsy. So for the past 3 or 4 years, he's always made at least a team shirt for the team, some sort of design for them to have for that year.
That's really cool when it's kind of led by you hear all the time it needs to be
Right.
player led, not coach fed, if you will. It's really nice when kids take the lead, isn't it?
Right. Yes, it is. I finally gave up on trying to design things and just tell them, you tell me what you want.
That's the way it works best. All right, so just kind of catch us up as to where you are. Not everybody understands how cross country works, when you start, how you begin. Just tell us the beginning.
Sure. We start with a summer camp in June, just a few days a week, but it helped to kind of get them acclimatized to the heat before in-season starts in July. We do a lot of training on trails like Turkey Mountain, river parks, just places that are safe to let the kids get some good mileage, but also get some good hills and get them used to that heat. And so that goes from June until school starts, and then we start in on 7th hour practice.
All right, let's make one thing clear, though. There are no such thing as good hills. Maybe for competition, but as a former bike racer and runner, I know going up hills,
Yes, it's not fun. They've really enjoyed it, though, using the different terrains, getting to do some rocks and some gravel. And we saw last year a really good improvement in times and less injuries, being able to run on like the dirt and the gravel. So we have been incorporating that now each summer.
I was one time a long time ago, and I used to run La Fortune a lot before my knee surgery.
Right.
And they're not a lot of hills, and they're small hills. And somebody said the way to run a hill is to keep your turnover the same. And if you find you do that, even though there's a little more effort into it, it kind of helps you at the top. I tried that. I don't know if it really helped. I mean, I'm a Clydesdale. What is the right way to run a hill, or is there one?
I mean, it is. It's kids or runners have a tendency to slow it down or trying to open their stride to get up it faster. But it's just keeping a quicker turnover and actually a little bit shorter steps to get up that hill. And then on the descent is where you open up the stride to really gain that speed and take advantage of the downhill.
When you're talking about running on a lot of different surfaces, like you just mentioned, how different is that for athletes? How different is it for the shoes they're wearing, or is that pretty standard? How do you work it?
For the cross-country kids, really just their road running shoes are good for the dirt and the gravel. Being a runner, I like to do trail runs. I do use trail shoes, but that's for something that's going to be a lot longer than 3 miles. So it's fine for them to just use their running shoes to be able to do that dirt and gravel.
Again, back a long time ago when I was doing this, I loved running on the cinder and the chat and the gravel. I love that sound. It kept me in pace. Do you find athletes who really do prefer one thing over another?
I think so. That's kind of what the feedback we also got from the kids is trying to get them into that 4 mile, 5, 6 mile. You put them in dirt in the woods and they lose track of time. And they realize, I'll be like, you realize that was like a 4 or 5 mile run? And they're like, no way. It took them a little bit longer because they had to go a little bit slower because of the terrain, but they forget where they are. And so that's what's so great about kind of mixing it up for the kids and letting them kind of get lost and just enjoying the run.
Tell us about your team.
Got a great team this year, about 35 kids. A lot of senior girls, so we'll be losing about 4 or 5 of our varsity girls this year, but they've been doing great. We've had 4 races so far, and they've excelled on the girls' side. Boys, we're fortunate. We have a lot of juniors that are doing great, starting to hit their times that they need to for mid-season, and really look for a good performance from them, which, of course, always aiming for state, which we've gone to the past 10 years, either as a team or as individuals. So just going to continue that.
So tell us how long the season goes. Tell us when states come along. And as you get closer to that, are you like any other sport where you're trying to kind of ramp up? You're trying to ramp down? How do you approach getting them peaked for the right time?
Right. So we start the summer training is building that endurance, not as much about speed, just getting the endurance built up. School starts, we start incorporating some speed work. Really, those beginning races are just get your feet wet. We have a lot of new freshmen, so they've never raced that 5K distance. And then as we get into mid-season, towards the end, we do ramp it up with the speed work, and then we do taper before regionals, which is October 25th, and then state will be November 1st.
Is there a favorite trail? I mean, do these kids like when it comes to that, or is there a place that you generally do those bigger state meets?
The state meet is always at Edmond Santa Fe, and then regionals will move around on who's going to host that race. But we have some favorite races, like the kids love RSU does a race at Mohawk Park.
Oh, nice.
And then Hall and Hall does one on their campus. And so there's a couple different ones that the kids love leading up to regionals and state.
Well, no matter what it is, we hope it goes really well. And tell your
Thank
dad,
you.
John Hamill, hello.
I will.
John, she's better looking than you. Coming back in a few minutes with another edition of Inside Tulsa Athletics.
Which one of these items can be recycled in the city of Tulsa's blue recycling cart? Air filter, cardboard box, toy car. The correct answer is cardboard box. Paper and cardboard are perfect for the city of Tulsa's blue recycling cart. But air filters and toys should be thrown away in the gray trash cart. Learn more at tulsarecycles.com.
I always wanted to be a teacher in a school, and preferably high school, and here I am living out my dream.
I was going to be able to make a difference. The district is so equitable and lovable to our students.
I chose Tulsa Public Schools because I am Tulsa Public Schools.
I have a lot of students from different cultures that speak different languages, have different traditions.
Tulsa needs teachers like you.
Make a difference in Tulsa.
Apply today at tulsaschools.org/teach
TPS.
We're back on Inside Tulsa Athletics. I'm Rick Couri, your host once again, and we've got a cool segment coming up. We've got a guy who's been all over the world. Osvaldo Amado is the head volleyball coach at Central. Welcome in. Tell people a little bit about your journey. You were born in
West Africa, Angola, and thank you to have me first.
Oh, thank you for coming. I appreciate it.
Yes, I was born in West Africa, Angola, where I fell in love with the sport of volleyball, see my dad play around. And the interest came on early age, and somehow I pursued that, and I was able to play on high school level as well.
That's really cool, but you also played professionally in some other sports.
Yes, while I live in South Africa, I kind of fell in love with rugby. And I played rugby while I was in college, then somehow I had to move and play semi-pro in England. Yes.
And then spent some time in Brazil.
I spent some time in Brazil, back and forth vacations, and that's where I most developed my volleyball skills. Because as you guys know, Brazil is a well-known country when it comes for male volleyball.
Right.
And they're great on the sport.
They very much are. What did you do in rugby that helped you prepare in volleyball? Are there any similar skills?
Oh, just that mental toughness, the way you prepare yourself to face the game is similar, and I do believe is similar with all sports, because you want to have that winner mentality, and the way you prepare yourself sets for whatever outcome the game brings to you.
So once you started playing volleyball, when did you decide you wanted to coach the sport?
Well, as you know, I'm an algebra teacher at Central High School, and through TPS, we have a variety of sports that are available. And there were a need of a volleyball coach. And now we have a new director of athletic at Central, Coach Jim Walker. And he asked me, because the previous year I assist on junior high side. He asked me if I want to do volleyball coach. I was like, yeah, I'm interested, why not? And that's how it came about.
So tell me how it's going.
Well, right now, we have 2 losses and we have 2 wins. So we even up right now. We're getting ready to play Keep Thursday. We had a practice yesterday, and we're going to have another one. Our girls are ready to face them because Keep was the first game we had in the season, and we came victorious, and we are planning to do that again on Thursday.
So you're building a team, and they're learning you, and you're learning them, and you've got to build those relationships. How do you go about it?
Oh yeah, you know, Central is known on bring the community together, players, family members, coaches. The same thing, we translate that when it comes to sport. So the relationship I have with our gals is, because most of them first are my students as well.
That's right.
And the relationship didn't just start on the court, it started in the classroom with most of our gals. And through our classroom, we're able to kind of build up the relationship and translate to the game, which made it much easier for us.
I would think so. As a coach, where do you start? Are you a basics guy? How do you begin?
Well, I'm a kind of old school guy, you know. Before you begin, you gotta start with the warm-ups, running up and down. You gotta get them ready, and even though we love the sport, but the best asset on the sport is human being. We need to protect them. So what I do with them is, hey, you allow them to stretch them out, then couple ups, and we start with basics, or platform, pushing the ball, or even serve, just to see where they are. Then we move on to, what is that called? Planning assessment, for example. Play with the ball above the net, you know, get our sets, our girls that are set the ball, read, jump with the ball over the net constantly, because that's the way it's game. Last time we had a game with the Rogers that are, they're tough. Those girls are tough. That we had to work a lot, but most points, they got it through the net. And we don't have the girls with that athleticism to play above the net, and that's what we're working right now.
And obviously, little things at a time. And once you get that one, you go to the next thing,
Yeah.
teams improve.
Team is improving, but the reality is that's a new team, right? We need to start step by step. All the girls, pretty much, that's their first time playing volleyball, besides Lincoln Jacob, who played volleyball before. She played clubs balls before, and she's pretty much the one who kind of direct and lead the girls on the court.
The cool thing is I can tell you're excited about it.
Oh yeah, I'm excited about it. I am, sir.
Well, good luck for the season, and thank you very much for coming out.
Thank you for having me.
That's the brand new volleyball coach at Central, Osvaldo Amado. Back with more Inside Tulsa Athletics next.
Hey Tulsans, the city of Tulsa would like to remind you to recycle right. When it comes to items that you can put in your blue recycling card, remember these 4 categories: aluminum and steel cans, cardboard and paper, plastic bottles and jugs, and glass bottles and jars. Please remember that plastic bags, styrofoam, and batteries do not belong in your blue card. Please do your part, and don't forget to think before you throw.
Whether your child is moving from elementary to middle school or from middle school to high school, Tulsa Public Schools is here to help support your family every step of the way. From STEM and fine arts to career tech and athletics, TPS offers diverse programs to inspire and challenge your student. And with our advanced placement, dual credit, and career training programs, they can even get a head start on their career. Help your student find their future at TPS. Enroll today.
Welcome back to Inside Tulsa Athletics. I'm Rick Couri, your host, and you might see a nice little hat right here in front of me. That's from Nathan Hale, and look at this. Huh? That's also from Nathan Hale, and that all comes from Alan Medlock, the AD. We're going to talk about many things, but let's talk about that. Thank you.
Not a problem. Glad to help out.
Alan remembered last year when I made a couple of comments about Hale gear and brought that with me. I appreciate that.
Yeah, absolutely. No, we had it cornered off, and when we ordered them last year, I had you in mind, and probably should have given it to you before now. I know that you're relatively close, but no, glad to support and and show a little bit of pride on that.
That is fantastic. Okay, first off, we're going to talk about your new facility, which I've seen a couple of pictures of. But I want to first of all just talk about the school year, beginning of the school year. You're trying to get everything organized. You got sports started. There's a lot going on. How's it going?
It's busy, but it's been great. It's been great. We with the new building coming on, that kind of adds another element of busy, but I kind of like hectic a little bit, and you know, we made some pretty big changes in every major sport, starting with football. And football drives your year, and to come out 2-0 and the buy-in from the kids is big. Not even just on the field, but in the building. You know, you can really feel the energy coming. So it's been busy, but it's been a good energy, and I think that it's going to be a great school year for us. We have our second year of a new principal, second year of my athletic administration, and we're in a good spot. And it's a good spot to be in, and you know, change is sometimes tough. There's some late nights, but we're getting there, and we're trying to put Hale on the map, and I think we're in a really good spot right now.
I've known Jesse a long time because he was playing Dace University of Tulsa, and he does bring an intensity, doesn't he?
Sure. That's you could tell the difference from day one. And it was funny in some of the interviews and whatnot, he wins you over because there's things that I will tell the baseball team or I will tell some of the other coaches, and you know, they turn out to be cliche, and Jesse was saying the same things in the interviews, and you could just tell that he has TPS in his heart, you know, coming from McLain. It means a lot to him. You know, he talks about his upbringing and whatnot, and where it brought him, and you know, to the University of Tulsa, and that's big, and it's just that kids want to follow that, and he's brought in a good coaching staff. He's training a lot of those guys as well. And yeah, there's a definite change of energy in that field house, I'll tell you.
And he is not a small guy, so you do listen to him.
100%. Yes, 100%.
All right, let's talk about this new facility of yours. Tell us about the kind of the genesis, and you know, you can say, look, Tulsa Public Schools, do we need an indoor facility? And you'll get a lot of people who kind of look at you sideways. How did you even start the conversation? How long has it been in play? Kind of take us to the beginning.
This started in the last bond project, and there was some debate on whether we needed a new gym or whether we needed a multi-purpose facility. And the multi-purpose won out. At first, I think there was some pushback on that because we were the last one of the last schools, one of the last big schools to get a gym. But now when you see how it all plays out and everything that went into it and some of the demographic that we have at Hale, it could be a perfect fit. It's a full indoor soccer field, which 70% of our demographic are soccer players. So we're going to have a full turf, and we officially got the keys. We're going to have a grand opening coming, but it's going to lead to more indoor soccer. We can host some soccer tournaments. We can bring some outside sources in to have some soccer tournaments in there. And then Jesse, on the bad weather, which we get in Oklahoma a lot, now they can practice on the turf. It's going to be it's huge for our school. We have adjacent to it is a full indoor practice facility for basketball that leads right into our old gym. That's going to it adds a third gym to what we have. We have the main gym, we have a smaller gym, as you probably remember, and now the third gym that's going to go into the new facility, just to allow things like it's massive for us to be able to host volleyball in the new gym and practice 2 basketballs. Yes. There's things we haven't been able to do. Yeah. It makes things much more fluid. The scheduling can be kind of a headache, but you're going to keep kids active all the time, and they see that, and they see this shiny new building, and our numbers are up across the board. So yeah, it was selfishly I went and hit some fungo on that turf today, which, you know, in Oklahoma weather in the spring, I'm sure I'll be using it quite a bit. So yeah, it opens up a ton of possibilities for us, and right there on campus, it's kind of shiny, made the building look a bit better, and now you can kind of sell on the history of the old gym a little bit. You know, it's really cool when you walk up through those locker rooms now to go into the gym, and you kind of feel some of that history when you walk in there too.
Oh, I would imagine.
So yeah, it's a lot of fun right now.
I got a little goosebump right there.
Oh yeah, you need to come see it. It's great.
Yeah, now a little bit of everybody can use that. Will your band have a chance to use it too if they need?
Yeah, absolutely. It's open to anybody. I mean, that's you know, the doors will be open every day, you know, and we'll have, they can march on the turf a little bit. We could have the PE classes on one or the other. Right. Soccer can come out there. We'll have boys and girls soccer, and we can switch those out. So that's, when you have facilities when you're lacking in facilities, you just can't practice as much because it's so tough. And like Jesse's great because he'll split up half of the football field for flag football, which is huge now. Now with this is open, they can go inside turf, football can stay on, or vice versa, and they can work on things. So yeah, it's a huge benefit for us.
That is fantastic. Alan, thanks for the swag.
Absolutely.
I appreciate it.
All right.
We'll come out and see
Thank
that
you.
building. It's Alan Medlock.
Cool.
He is the athletic director at Nathan Hale, the Rangers. Back with more Inside Tulsa Athletics next.
Hey, Tulsa, we have a crushing recycle play of the day for you. Team Johnson versus paper and cardboard.
They're starting off slow today, probably trying to figure out what to do with those styrofoam plates since they're not recyclable.
There's the big play we were waiting for. Boom! Completely empty cardboard boxes dunked in the cart. Score big by recycling your cardboard and paper. Learn more at TulsaRecycles.com.
I always wanted to be a teacher in a school, and preferably high school, and here I am living out my dream.
I was going to be able to make a difference. The district is so equitable and lovable to our students.
I chose Tulsa Public Schools because I am Tulsa Public Schools.
I have a lot of students from different cultures that speak different languages, have different traditions.
Tulsa needs teachers like you.
Make a difference in Tulsa.
Apply today at tulsaschools.org/teach
TPS.
Welcome back for another segment on Inside Tulsa Athletics. I'm your host, Rick Couri, and we're going to talk about something very central to every sporting event, and that's cheer. Lance Pillstrom is with us. He's the head coach at Memorial in cheer. Thanks for being here. We appreciate your time. And, people they don't realize, I don't think enough people realize, cheerleaders are athletes.
Yes, they are.
Tell me about some of the training you guys do.
Well, we're an NCAA squad. And for those of you that don't know, NCAA is National Cheerleaders Association. And it's pretty on par with the NFL and the NBA. It's the gold standard for cheer.
And that means that there's a lot of work involved. So,
a lot of hard work.
People think you show up, you learn a few cheers, and you move on. Describe what an average training day would be like.
Well, we have tryouts, and then we start in summer camp at OU. And it basically starts at 7:30 and ends about 9:30 that night. And so by the time the girls leave, and boys, camp, they are completely ready for game day. And they have a much better understanding of what their role is. And they see themselves differently because they do see themselves like athletes. When they're there with 500 other athletes working 12, 14-hour days, it gives them a different mindset.
During those days, what all are you learning? What all are they doing? What part of that is training athletically, if you will, physically? What part of that is learning a routine? How does that go?
It starts in the morning. It starts with stretching, conditioning, and then we go into basically stations. They'll do kicks, jumps. They'll work on cheer. They'll work on choreography. And then they work on putting their game day material together, which is what we use when we go to our game day competitions in the fall.
And so, yeah, it is more about, it's not just about a game. It's about those competitions and things, much like band has become. You practice, you play at a game, but it's for a competition. Is there a mixture of those? I mean, you have some things you're going to do at a game. Are the game things always part of competition, or competition things always part of the game, or how does that work?
Yes.
Expound.
So, what we learn all of this material, and they're exposed to all this different stuff, and then the squad kind of puts it together and said, we want to bring this cheer into our game day competition. We're definitely going to throw up this stunt, and then we want to do this chant, and this is our situation that we're going to use. So the squad kind of takes all that information and they put it together, and then they decide this is what we're taking to competition.
All right, so you say they decide. How much of that is Coach Lance, and how much of that is them saying this is really what we want to do?
In my 24 years, I've learned to step back and let them, because it's more buy-in, and if I tell them to do this, they're like, we hate that. But, it's all NCAA material. So I know it's going to be good. I know it's going to be quality. And so I want them to buy into it and say, yes, this is what we feel comfortable with. This is what we think we look best doing. And so I let them have
ownership, right?
Ownership
of that. You have, your job is not just to let them do that, but it's also to put people in the right places. Much like any other team, somebody wants to be somewhere, maybe they don't fit there. How do you go about having those kinds of conversations, and how long does it take you to make that determination?
I need a t-shirt that says, be where you're happy. So I'll have an athlete, and I coach other things as well. And I talk to all my athletes. If you're not happy, don't be here. Be where you're happy. And so, and I will support you and I will get you where you're happy. And so I've had athletes that it wasn't working, and I said, let's try to get you over here. So I will have that conversation with those other coaches.
And and many times, especially if it's within the same sport, or if it's cheer, it's success that makes them happy. So maybe they're not as good at one thing, but you showed them something else and they get success, they can become happy, right?
Yes.
When you're looking to choose who's going to do what and that kind of thing, or as they are kind of learning at the same time, you've got to be thinking about, okay, you would be better here, you would be better here. There are certain people who are tumblers or flippers or that kind of thing. Is that pretty well preset? Do they already know going in?
I definitely have ideas, but then as we start growing as a squad, I'll have a base that really should be a flyer. And so we're very flexible. Flexibility is a life skill. And so I try to stay open to that.
And you probably, just like any other coach, get surprised sometimes by someone who can do something you don't think they can do.
Well, and leadership rises. So I never pick a captain. They just sort of rise to the occasion, and everyone knows that's our captain.
Right? Sure. Yeah, you can always tell who's in charge, can't you? What's the hardest thing to do as a cheerleader? Is it a stunt? Is it staying in time? What's harder?
Yes. For each cheerleader will tell you that they all struggle with something different. I have one girl right now that we're trying to work on her kicks. I have another girl working on volume. And so they all have their different areas where they're not as strong in, and so we just try to build them up in that situation.
Is there a platinum standard of a stunt in cheerleading?
The one man is every coach's dream come true. It is when, and I've had Darius could do a one man with Tyra years ago. And it's literally a guy and a girl, and he gets her up just like this. And she is literally standing in his hands. And there's nobody else helping them, stunting, basing, assisting. It's literally him lifting and her being strong enough that she is so sharp and strong that he can just torpedo her up.
And she is standing stock still.
And she has to be super strong to be able to pull that off.
Nope, not doing it. Lance, thanks for coming, and I hope you guys have a great year.
Thank you very much.
Lance Pillstrom, Memorial Cheer. Coming back with another segment in just a moment right here on Inside Tulsa Athletics.
Whether your child is moving from elementary to middle school or from middle school to high school, Tulsa Public Schools is here to help support your family every step of the way. From STEM and fine arts to career tech and athletics, TPS offers diverse programs to inspire and challenge your student. And with our advanced placement, dual credit, and career training programs, they can even get a head start on their career. Help your student find their future at TPS. Enroll today.
Hey Tulsans, the City of Tulsa would like to remind you to recycle right. When it comes to items that you can put in your blue recycling card, remember these 4 categories: aluminum and steel cans, cardboard and paper, plastic bottles and jugs, and glass bottles and jars. Please remember that plastic bags, styrofoam, and batteries do not belong in your blue card. Please do your part, and don't forget to think before you throw.
Well, thanks for joining us for another edition of Inside Tulsa Athletics. I'm your host, Rick Couri. We hope to see you back next week. Until then, thanks for all the guests who are here, and I want you to grab a friend and go out and go to a game of any choice at TPS at Inside Tulsa Athletics.